Yo, what's good, Destination Devy fam? Welcome back to the station to help you Devy and Dynasty better. You know who it is, man. It's Ray Garv, and if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you subscribe. It is entertaining, actionable fantasy football content to help you dominate your leagues. And I'm just going to tell you, this has been an absolute cluster trying to work this out because I want to bring Jordan along to help me with this mock draft to provide some additional insight to these players, and it has been an hour of absolute chaos. So you guys are just going to get whatever the hell is about to happen. So hopefully it will be smooth, but damn it, if anything, it's going to be entertaining because I have no clue what's about to happen because it has been pure madness trying to get this to go. It's almost as crazy and it's almost as much madness as what's happening in Dynasty right now with rookie madness disease. That's what I'm calling it, this RMD. And I'm not talking about the required minimum distribution that you have to take out when you're in 60 and a half years old. I'm talking about what is going on with these rookies. And it's crazy. It is crazy to see players like, Cortland Sutton tumbling down the boards, players like Robert Woods. And I get it. It's Dynasty and the ageists are there, Well, we've got to move on. They're getting too old. But some of these rookies have no business being ranked and drafted where they are right now. And that's not to diminish their talent and skill set. But because this is happening, because this rookie madness disease is infecting the fantasy community, if you join a startup right now, if you are in leagues right now, this is the primo time, your opportunity to go out and acquire legit, top 12 talent, legitimate second, third year players who will probably have a better chance of scoring points for your fantasy team than these rookies in the 2020 season. So before I bring Jordan in, before we have a little more dialogue, before we jump into the mock, you know what's next, baby? Drop the intro.
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
All right, let's bring Jordan on the camera. Jay, what's up, baby? How you doing?
What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm happy to be here. I'm super excited. This show has already been crazy, so I would expect nothing less. Honestly, we're here to entertain you guys with this rookie madness. It's been crazy to see what's been going on with startup ADP, but we're here to win. And that's what this show is all about. We're here to teach you guys how to win and how we win in our startup drafts beyond just taking young players, taking young talent. Sometimes you have to grab those veterans because they're too good of a value to pass up. And this show, we're going to teach you guys exactly how we do that and how we win.
Yeah, it's crazy because I feel like the basic philosophy of what fantasy football is about has been lost in translation over the past couple of months. The name of the game is to draft players who are going to score fantasy points so that you can win your fantasy championship. That's what we're doing. And yes, I understand you want to build this dynasty, this empire, but passing on some of these players with the hope and anticipation that the reality is all these damn players that we're drafting, all these rookies, they're not all going to hit. We're going to have a bunch of busts. We're going to have some very good players. We're going to have some average players. And then we're going to have some players that we don't do anything with. So it blows my mind that so many people are putting all their eggs in this rookie class basket and letting proven players just fall past them. So if you're in a startup, if you're about to begin a startup, this is the show for you. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're checking it out because it's fucking crazy. But we are going to jump into it. We're going to use Fantasy Pros Mock Draft Simulator, and then we're going to use DLF's May Startup ADP in order to kind of talk about and converse about these players and the picks that we're going to make. So let's go ahead and get to that. What are we doing? Where are we at? Mock Draft Simulator. So we are going to draft out of the 3-hole snake draft, single quarterback, PPR, 5 flex positions, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and 1 tight end. Jay, you ready to get this thing going, man?
Yes, sir. I'm pumped for this. It's going to be a really good show. I think it'll provide a lot of insight for people.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and kick it off. And again, drafting out of the 3-hole. Let's see what we got. All right, here we go. So no surprises at 101 and 102. Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, nothing shocking there, right? I mean, that's pretty standard. And we are faced with Michael Thomas, Zeke Elliott, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara. Jay, where would you want to go in this situation?
I think I'm taking can't guard Mike. I love Michael Thomas. On and off the field, the guy's just an animal. I don't know.
Off the field, he's kind of a crybaby, to be honest with you. I get sick of seeing his fucking shit on Twitter. But on the field, yeah.
But he is still an excellent talent. He's a bit older, I think, than people realize, but that doesn't really bother me at all, him being a wide receiver. And I think he's the play. If not, then I would take Zeke Elliott.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at. It's Michael Thomas or Zeke. And, gosh, it feels like he's only been in the league a couple of years, but he's already 27 years old. You know, we knock DeAndre Hopkins, right? So let's just pull DeAndre Hopkins up. What's D-Hop? I think D-Hop is 27 himself. I think he's 27 years old. You know, we kind of.
I think he's 28. You think he's a year or two old?
No, he's 27. Look, he's 27.
Wow.
D-Hop is 27. Adams is 27. MT is 27. I mean, now I don't have Hopkins' birthday pulled up in front of me, so he may be on his, en route to 28. But a lot of people talk about he has hit the age apex to where things are going to start going down for Nuke. Are we not having those similar conversations about Mike Thomas? And Drew Brees is not going to be there for another, he maybe this season, maybe one more after this year. I think the right play is Michael Thomas, but I kind of want to take Zeke Elliott, but I feel like you've made a better case. So we're trying to win. We'll go with Mike Thomas here, all right?
Yeah, I think he's got probably the safest floor of anybody.
All right, let's go Mike Thomas. Michael Thomas, there we go. Running backs. Zeke is wild anyway, who knows? And Zeke went right off of the board, and DeAndre Hopkins. So we'll kind of review the picks and kind of talk about that. So let's see who came off of the board after we drafted Michael Thomas, Zeke Elliott, Alvin Kamara, Nuke, Dalvin Cook, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon, and Chris Godwin rounded out round one. Anything surprising for you in round one?
No, pretty standard. I think maybe Joe Mixon is a little high depending on how you feel about him, but I do like him a lot, so I'm more than happy to see him go off the board there.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, if you're building through the running back position, if you're going robust RB, then I think that's probably where he needs to go, right? Kamara, Zeke off the board, Nick Chubb. I think Joe Mixon is right there for next up. Round two, we got Mike Evans, Josh Jacobs, Julio, DJ Moore, Jonathan Taylor, rookie. Got our first rookie off the board. George Kittle, tight end. Crazy to take a tight end this high, but, I mean, hey, to each his own. Derrick Henry, Leonard Fournette. We talked about both of those guys on the, I think our last show or 2 shows ago, talked about both of those guys expiring running back contracts. And then Kenny G. So still a lot of good players on the board. Let's see. They are recommending Juju, Amari Cooper, Miles Sanders, CEH, a rookie there. We took Michael Thomas in the first round. What would you do if this were your team? Like, where would you go?
It's funny because I'm looking at that board right there, and I'm looking at Miles Sanders, and if it was my team, I would want to take probably Clyde, A.J. Brown, still try and stay pretty young if I can. But I would really want to find out if Miles Sanders would come back to me. I feel like if we did let this slide, I'd be really interested to see if a Miles or a Clyde came back to us next. And it makes me almost want to take a wide receiver to where I'm leaning like an Amari Cooper, A.J. Brown, and OBJ if you believe in him, like one of those guys.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Like, I feel like a running back will fall to us. We've got, a 6-pick weight, 5-pick weight, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys know I'm terrible at math. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, 4-pick
picks.
weight.
4 picks. I'm with you. With MT, I would want to pair him with a stud wide receiver. Like PPR, I feel like we'd be solid there. And then we can get a running back in the 3rd round. So I'm with you. So we're in the wide receiver pool. I want A.J. Brown. I want a young, talented wide receiver who is the alpha on that team. Juju, love Juju the player. Ben's back, but, I don't know. I just don't know if Juju's like that number one guy. And right now, in startup ADP, he's coming off of the board, I believe, is wide receiver 7, man, which I just think is a little higher than I would personally like. Here we go. Let's take a look. Juju Smith-Schuster, wide receiver 7 overall, May ADP. Mike Evans, A.J. Brown is wide receiver 9. Kenny Golladay is already gone. He's 12th. So I'd feel good about A.J. Brown, to be honest with you, with this second-round pick. Jay, you want to go A.J. Brown here?
Yes, sir. A.J. Brown all day. I like that pick a lot.
All right, we're going to take A.J. Brown right here. Let's make that selection, and I think a running back is going to fall to us in the third. So let's see how this plays out. There we go. So Edwards-Helaire went. So the picks went Juju, Amari Cooper, OBJ, and CEH. You just missed your guy by a pick. I know that kind of hurts. But
it's okay.
But best running backs available: Miles Sanders, Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, DeAndre Swift. We also have, we can go wide receiver again. We could go Sutton, Ridley, DK, and just start off with a filthy wide receiver core. But at this point, this is where our dynasty team will take a massive turn, right? If we take a wide receiver here, then we've essentially are punting running back, and we're going to go 0 RB. If we take a running back here, are you confident with Miles Sanders as your RB1 for your team?
I think for me, I am, and it's because we're playing PPR, right? Like, I'm assuming he's going to see somewhere in the realm of 70 to 80 targets, with Philly not really adding a whole lot and already having questions as far as their team going. But I think that Miles Sanders is an absolute buy. I think he'll see an uptick in rushing for sure. And you look at his second half last year, he just blew up. And remember, we talked about him on the Cornerstone ranking show, how high we had to have him there. And I think he's going to be a steal this year, pretty much no matter where you take him. And he could even be a second-round pick in redraft. So to get him in the third round of startup is like crazy for a guy who's just coming into the league. Like you see, 23 years old, 11th running back off the board, which I think is still a little bit low.
Yeah.
What he could do especially.
Yeah, and I think he's coming off. He's got an ADP of 15, man. So he's coming off the board as the 17th overall player, and we've got potential to grab him right here. So I think that's the right play. The wide receiver group is deep. We need to grab a running back because we've got a little bit of a wait. So let's go ahead and smash that button on Miles Sanders. Feeling good about the team. Sanders, Michael Thomas, A.J. Brown. And I see a quarterback. 2 quarterbacks have come off of the board. I see another tight end. We'll go through it. All right, after we took Miles Sanders, the next pick, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Jones, Keenan Allen, L. Jax, DK Metcalf, Austin Eckler, Cortland Sutton, Travis Kelce, Cooper Kupp, Mark Ant, round out the third round. For me, seeing 2 quarterbacks go this early in a single quarterback league, I get it. If you're the Mahomes and Jackson owners, you're happy. But for me, not touching a quarterback in the third round of a single quarterback league, I'm good there. Not taking Travis Kelce at, 31 years old here at the 311 spot. I couldn't do it. And Austin Eckler, I get it that for 2020 he's probably going to provide tremendous value, but I'm still a little weary on him. Aaron Jones, there are a couple of picks I really just don't like in this round. Quarterbacks, Aaron Jones, Keenan Allen, Eckler. I love Sutton at 310. I don't know. What about you? How do you feel about the third round?
I actually like those picks of Sutton and Kupp. I usually like to get those guys a little bit later. That seems a little bit early even from what I've seen, but I still like those guys long term. I know you love DK, and he could definitely be a riser. I'm really surprised to see the Keenan Allen respect. That guy has been falling in startups far. People just see him as an old, decrepit receiver, but he's one of the most refined route runners in the game. And now looking at this ADP here, I'm seeing Calvin Ridley, DJ Shark, Allen Robinson. We're going to have to take one of those guys.
Yeah, 4th round, Mark Andrews, Melvin Gordon, Tyler Lockett, DeAndre Swift, Terry McLaurin, Kenyon Drake. I was somehow hoping he would fall. Stephon Diggs, Deebo Samuel, David Montgomery, Andrews at 401. Golly, man, these tight ends coming off of the board. Gordon, not in Dynasty. I don't want him at 402. Not feeling Lockett. I like Swift, McLaurin. Yeah. All right, so here we go. Best players available that they're giving us: J.K. Dobbins, Ridley, Allen Robinson, DJ Chark. Let's look at the running backs. I'm not even clicking tight end because I don't even want to go there right now. I hope you agree with me. All right. J.K. Dobbins, Gurley, Akers, Singletary are the running backs that they're suggesting here. Let's see who else is there. Chris Carson, Lev Bell, James Conner, Kareem Hunt, Keyshawn Vaughn. No, thank you. We're going wide receiver. I think I can make that executive decision that we've got to go receiver here. And if I'm looking at the players that are available, it's between Calvin Ridley and Allen Robinson. Their ADP, DLF, May startup ADP. Let's go to the wide receiver position and see where they were at. Allen Robinson coming off the board is the 14th wide receiver, and Calvin Ridley down here at 19. Where would you go, Ridley or Allen Robinson?
That's really tough for me because Ridley, I know for me at least, when he came out, he was one of my favorite prospects, and it's really just because of his route running. And we've talked about it off air that he's the next quote-unquote Julio Jones as far as taking that role, and he's going to be the alpha there sooner than later, and we should see another step up from him. But what's kind of not scaring me, but you think about Allen Robinson only being 26, Calvin Ridley being 25, I'm looking at that like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
And why am I not taking Allen Robinson, who's just going to get just so many targets? Like,
Look,
there's no out.
154 targets that came from Mitchell Trubisky. And say what you want, but Nick Foles is an upgrade, at least throwing the ball accurately from Mitch. The disrespect from that Allen Robinson. I mean, he's still 26 years old. He is the alpha. There is no if somebody leaves. They have no tight end. Anthony Miller, Taylor Gabriel, Riley Ridley. I mean, 154 targets last year. I think it's a no-brainer. It's Allen Robinson for me.
Yeah, man. Like it boggles my mind. I love Ridley, but he shouldn't surpass Allen Robinson in value. But what we talked about with the fever, man, seeing CeeDee and Judy there, oh boy.
Yeah, and we'll pass on them too. So, all right, Allen Robinson, Calvin Ridley, Chark, they came right off of the board. Todd Gurley and J.K. Dobbins right after that. So here we are. Let's look at the squad. Sanders, MT, A.J. Brown, Allen Robinson. Man, I like what we got, man. I feel like we got a contender right now. We just can't screw up these next couple of picks. So let's take a look at the running backs. Akers, Singletary, Carson. Wide receivers, CeeDee Lamb, Judy, Woods, Boyd. Where are we going, man?
So the interesting thing about this is I feel like this is kind of a flex pick. Like I almost feel we don't have to make a pick here. And it's funny, the guy I'm honestly looking at, as crazy as it sounds, is Lev Bell. And seeing he would be the target I'd want to wait on as like my RB2, where receiver, obviously we're loaded, quarterback we're probably going to fade, tight end we're probably going to fade. So his question is, where do we want to go with this pick? And where do you want to take it? Do you want to get risky and take a Cam Akers who could be a stud? Or do you want to take a receiver just to have another guy kind of like on the team? Or do you want to maybe go tight end and take someone we really believe in who could help us get extra points, right? I think there's a lot of flexibility with this pick.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling Lev Bell, to be honest with you, at this point. I feel like, yeah, while that may help me this season, I don't know what we're getting out of Lev Bell after 2020. He's somebody, I'm not even being funny. Like, Lev wants to rap. I can see him finishing out this thing in New York and being like, screw this, I'm going to rap. But Akers here, Devin Singletary, that's sort of, and I'm even looking at Kareem Hunt, but I know that's too early. 503 is too early to take Kareem Hunt. But I'm looking at, I don't want CeeDee here. I don't want Judy here. If we're really trying to win, like if we were really trying to win right now, I mean, it's Tyler Boyd or Robert Woods. And I know Woods isn't like a spring chicken, but he's not old either. But he's the wide receiver one in LA to me, not Cooper Kupp. So if we were really going for it, PPR, I mean, 139 targets last year for Robert Woods. 139, man.
And he ain't slowing down. No way. Robert Woods has been a steal in drafts.
We're taking Robert. We're doing
all
it.
day.
Let's go. Robert Woods. Let's go. And at this point, I think Lev Bell went right up. Dude, this is interesting. This is interesting. But we are good at wide receiver. Look at that. CeeDee Lamb and them are still there. So who came off of the board after we made that pick? Lev Bell, Singletary, Kerryon Johnson, Akers, Hunt. Hunt went 5 picks after I kind of wanted him. Marlon Mack, Connor, Chris Carson, DJ, Geis, Boyd, Lindsey, Darrell Henderson, Keyshawn Vaughn, Ingram. Is that Devontae Freeman? Trash. Adam Thielen, Damian Williams. So here we go. So roster. Miles Sanders, Michael Thomas, A.J. Brown, Allen Robinson, Robert Woods. We kind of did 0 RB, but we got an RB1 out of the deal. So do you want to dive into the running back pool here? Mostert, Sony Michel, Ronald Jones. Do we go wide receiver and get one of these young guys? Do we go quarterback? Do we look at the tight end? What do you want to do?
The crazy thing, and almost revisiting this, is how quickly these running backs are coming off in this draft. And this really shows you where you have to be flexible. And I know for me, if I was in this draft, I would be hammering wide receiver all day long because that's where the value is in this draft.
Yeah.
And in a PPR format, the production you'll get out of a potential wide receiver 2, wide receiver 1 that we're still seeing on the board with like a Jarvis Landry, who's probably going to see another 100 targets this year, or even if you really wanted to get risky and go Devontae Parker, like these are guys that are probably going to see targets that could outproduce a RB2, RB3, even with the guys we've seen already go off the board.
No interest in a tight end right now? Evan Ingram, Ertz, Henry, Waller?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
I don't love Zach Ertz long term, but if you think about all those top 3, and even with Waller, I'd say it's about a tier for me. I'd want to get one of those 4 if I can, whether it's in this round or the next. I guess we have a short wait here.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to wait and grab a tight end with the next pick, I think that may be the move, and we just continue to bolster that wide receiver core here.
So the only reason I don't want Landry is he did have off-season hip surgery, and I have no clue the progress on that. So I kind of want to leave that one alone right now. I'm looking at Justin Jefferson personally, CeeDee Lamb, Rager in Philly, Devontae Parker. Again, if we're trying to win now, Devontae Parker, I don't know if it gets any better than that right here. But what do you want to do, man? Your pick. I made the last two, so it's on you.
I think I'm taking CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
As much as you're saying to kind of fade rookies, I don't think you're getting a bad value here.
No.
With all the receivers you already have, if he's not the one right away, he can easily supplant, an Allen Robinson who may fall off in a couple of years.
So we're going to take CeeDee Lamb right here. Boom. All right, so we just grabbed CeeDee Lamb. I agree with you. I think at that point, I know I talked about, and it's not fade rookie wide receivers. It's just there are some players that I wouldn't take over some of these rookies. Like, even with the CeeDee Lamb pick, I love Lamb, but some of these second-year guys like Slayton, Dionte Johnson, Preston Williams, if we were in a true draft with our league mates, I would have tried to trade back at that point because, like you said, I feel like that was kind of a luxury pick for the team that we had, but that does provide some, long-term youth for our squad. So I like it, and I think all the tight ends are still there. I mean, Jerry Jeudy, rookie run, Jerry Jeudy, Raheem Mostert, you talked about Jarvis Landry, and then Jalen Rager off of the board. So at this point, man, our roster, we are heavy wide receiver. MT, A.J. Brown, Allen Robinson, Woods, CeeDee. You want to go tight end here?
I think probably if I had to make a decision, I would personally want to go Hunter Henry. I like the combination of age, talent. Being tied to a rookie quarterback isn't ideal, but you would look at Zach Ertz, who's great, but he's probably done after this year. Evan Ingram, who's been a bit injury-prone, but a very talented player when available. And then Darren Waller, who I personally am not super high on. I think he's not a one-hit wonder, but I think his production will go down a little bit based off what's been happening. But I want to believe in Ingram, but that small injury history, being a little bit banged up, it's not ideal, right? His games play keeps going down. Henry has the same issues, but I just believe in the talent more. And I believe he's going to ascend over time.
All right, well, I made 2 back-to-back picks, so I'll let you have this one. I think it would be hard for me to pass up Evan Ingram with the connection with Daniel Jones, having that, and Saquon Barkley, upgrade at offensive line with Andrew Thomas, but we can go Hunter Henry. We'll go Hunter Henry here, and then we'll see what we got. We'll look at our roster, see what we got. Darren Waller, look at that. We've started some runs because I see a bunch of well, maybe we were a little early on that one because all those freaking tight ends are still there. So this is what we got now. Sanders, Thomas, A.J. Brown, Allen Robinson, Hunter Henry, Robert Woods, CeeDee Lamb. And we'll kind of pick up the pace a little bit. Running backs, it's just gross, right?
That is ugly, man. So who's even available there?
This is what happens when you
What are we looking at?
When you go zero RB, this is what you're left with.
Jordan Howard maybe is on the.
Golly, is Jordan Howard available?
Yeah. You're looking at Tony Pollard, hoping he has a role. Ronald Jones, hoping he keeps the role if he even has it right now.
Yeah. I think Jordan Howard's a good 0 RB running back to pair with Miles Sanders, right? Like,
volume should be there.
Like, it's PPR, but he's going to like, we got Sanders to cover that. We got our 50 wide receivers to cover that. Let's just get some volume. Let's get Jordan Howard here. Oh, man.
Or do you want to fade him? And hope he comes back?
I don't think he'll. Well, we're not going to take it. If we don't take him here, we're not going to take him at 9:03, and I don't think he comes back in the 10th. So
yeah,
and really, I don't really feel great about any of these running backs.
But how would you feel about? I mean, it sounds crazy, but what about? Because the problem is you have him and Breda, and you look at the ADPs; they're both there.
Yeah.
But do you want to double up and secure that Miami quote unquote backfield? I guess for this year, it seems like you're kind of doing the most, grabbing both those guys.
Zach Moss with a higher ADP than Ronald Jones or Jordan Howard. Wow, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. My son's playing music in the background. Let's go Jordan Howard, man. I don't want to get Matt Breida and Jordan Howard. Like I'd rather go Ronald Jones and then try to get Jordan Howard in the 9. Like I'd rather that than Breida.
I like that.
Okay.
Ronald Jones did start and he wasn't horrible this year.
We're gonna go Ronald Jones here. Dang, look at what this is why you don't draft quarterback early in single quarterback leagues. Dak Prescott 8-11. Russell Wilson here. Deshaun Watson at 808. You know what I mean? Like just wait. There's no point. So AJ Green and then Darren Waller. So here we are. We took Ronald Jones. So we got Miles Sanders, Ronald Jones. Do we dive back into the wide receiver ranks or do we go another running back?
Let's see who the wide receivers are. There's got to be some good ones still.
There's still tons of. I mean, Dionte Johnson, Preston Williams.
Man, that guy could be disgusting this year.
Yeah, I love him, and I love Preston Williams, but I'd feel gross taking Johnson or Williams, Tua or Big Ben.
But we both think Johnson's the one, right? So that's kind of where, like, you get Johnson, not like 8 rounds after Juju goes? That's a steal.
Let's do it. Even though I love Preston Williams, but I'm taking Johnson. And the rookies that were there were Mims. And we'll probably talk about this. I'm taking Johnson over those guys, man. Like, I'm taking these second-year players over those rookies. So right after we went, Hardman, James White, Edelman, T. Higgins, Laviska. I'm taking Preston. I'm taking Slayton, Preston Williams, all those second-year guys over Laviska Shenault. Denzel Mims, Austin Hooper, Sterling Shepard, Josh Allen, Michael Pittman. There's Darius Slayton, John Brown, Zach Moss, Noah Fant, Hawk, Rogers, Madison, Marvin Jones. Executive decision here. Executive decision. We are doing it. Preston Williams is the draft pick. I think you're looking at a future potential number 1 wide receiver tethered to Tua Tagovailoa. I love what Preston Williams did, and a lot of people don't realize 60 targets in limited games and 8 games as undrafted free agent. Give me
a free agent at Colorado State.
Let's go. Love. Our wide receivers are disgusting. And then we're sitting here. We could go Matt Breida. We can go Tony Pollard. We can go quarterback. What do you want to do here?
Who are the quarterbacks? There's got to be still some good ones.
Carson Wentz, Baker, Burrow, Matt Ryan, Stafford, Tua, Daniel Jones, Locke, Darnold.
Last pick. We're going.
Yeah, we don't even need one, right? We can go tight end again. Goddard, Gesicki, Irv Smith. Or do we need to go running?
We got to go running back. Do you want to get like a Pollard or a Cohen?
Yeah, I like Pollard. I want Tony Pollard.
Even Howard's still there. I'd not take Pollard for sure. In the 11th round. Come on.
Yeah.
Take Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard.
We can talk about the 11th forever.
Yeah, Tony Pollard. That's a good PPR. That's a good PPR 0 RB pick. I'm really loving how this team has played out. This is all right. Let's look at our roster for a second. All right, we filled up the starters. We have no quarterback, and we need some bench guys. What are we doing here? We got rookies. What do we need? We got 2 running backs on the roster. 3 running backs.
For a veteran.
Think
about we don't want to start CeeDee. Probably don't want to start Pollard. Can we find a veteran here that can maybe get us some points week to week? I was pissed when I saw Marvin Jones went, man. You see him
Oh,
go
yeah,
super
yeah.
late.
I didn't even review who went off the board after that pick. So, Alshon, Corey Davis, AB.
Yeah.
I think AB's going to be on the team this year. AB's going to play in 2020. That's just my thought. AB's playing in 2020. Jordan Howard, Anthony Miller, A.J. Dillon, Carson Wentz, Justice Hill, Goddard, Gesicki. Might need to look at tight end again. Baker, Breida, Cohen, Darnold, Crowder, Sammy, Hines, and Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson would have been a good 0 RB running back as well.
Yeah. How do you feel about Lat Murray there? As like the Kamara.
You like Lat Murray. You like you some Lat Murray, don't
I
you?
just think he's underrated, man. Look at his stats from last year. He's never going to be a high-end player. When you think about what he did, 34 receptions, still 150 carries. It's not bad when you think about like a flex running back.
Yeah. We could, and I mean, here we go, 146 carries, and he's playing. He's available if something happens to Kamara. I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right.
6 touchdowns. Nothing to sniff at for what you're seeing on the board here.
And 34 receptions. 34 receptions.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Matt Murray.
Very underrated player, in my opinion.
I think we need to go tight end. I think we need another tight end, man. Like, all we have is Hunter Henry. I think we need to get another tight end. Jonnu Smith, O.J. Howard, Gronk, Njoku. Where are you at with these tight ends?
I'm either looking at I would consider Jared Cook if we're just going like win now, but you can get him later. But I do like Ian Thomas a lot. I think he's going to be a great option in that new high flying offense out in Carolina. He's finally gone, man. People have been waiting.
All right, man. I would probably go Jonnu. I'd probably go Jonnu, but
Isn't it in the league?
I don't know. I don't know what kind of target. I mean, Ian Thomas. I just don't know how many targets he's going to see. But we can go Ian Thomas here. Let's go Ian Thomas.
Upside.
I bet you he would have been there like 3 rounds later too.
I think a lot of these guys could be.
Maybe not 3 rounds, but at least another round we could have waited on Ian.
Oh, see Emmanuel Sanders. God damn, man. We should have looked at him.
Oh, yeah, we should have. James Washington, Damian Harris, Dede Westbrook, Brian Edwards, Josh Kelly, Darrington Evans, Tyrell, E. Sanders, Chase Edmonds, Royce, Matty Ice, Jalen Samuels, O.J. Howard, Eno Benjamin, Renfro. Oh, wow, I forgot about Renfro.
Yeah.
Njoku, Jonnu, Gronk. If Daniel Jones is here, I'm taking him. Dude.
Oh, man. Danny Dimes.
Underrated.
I mean, and Drew Lock, too, if you want to believe that.
We could probably wait.
People got to realize that.
Huh?
People got to realize Jared Goff's a stud. Jared Goff can sling it. He had a bit of a down year.
Yeah, he can. All right, so running backs, Anthony McFarland, Reichwell Armstead, TJ Dallas, Benny Schnell. What do you want to do here, man? Looking at our team.
Another running back for sure. Oh, we got Lat Murray to kind of supplement a little bit.
Where are we at?
I don't know if you want to take the McFarland, go with the McFarland road and hope that he gets a big role, right? It's not terrible.
No, but I would rather DJ Dallas if I'm going to take a rookie running back in Seattle over Anthony McFarland. I think we can get Dallas later.
Oh, for sure. Maybe we should secure that QB now, because even though we could wait, you know, who do you want to take here? Who do you like at wide receiver, or just get another like a third tight end that we could trade?
I think Burrow or Daniel Jones is the pick for me.
A lot of good options. I'd be more than happy to get Danny. He's a great quarterback.
To be honest with this team, I'd be fine with Teddy Bridgewater running my team for a couple of years, to be honest with you. But the value, we're going to go Ray strategy here. I'm going to take Burrow. I'm going to take the young guy with hopes that I can land a Teddy B or a Gardner later and maybe flip Burrow. So right here, let's go Joe Burrow. All right?
I like it.
McFarland and DJ Dallas. We were talking about them, right? So McFarland, Reichwell, Jamal, DJ Dallas. We missed out on both of those. Jones is still there. But what are we doing here? I mean, there's still some good wide receivers on the board. Usable at this point. Breshad Perriman. I've been talking about Alan Lazard. What do you want to do, man?
Do you buy the Miles Boykin breakout this year?
I kind of do. I kind of like him, but I don't think we got to get him here.
Yeah, and like there's always Larry Fitz, man. Like if you want to take a 1-year win now rental, that's the guy.
Yeah, I don't want him. I don't think so. Not with D-Hop there. Not with Christian Kirk. I think it's more that it's just letting Larry ride it out this season. I wouldn't want that. I would take, at this point, I know it sounds gross, I'd take Perriman or Alan Lazard over Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, it's buying the hype.
Yeah.
Who's there running?
Nobody.
Nobody, man.
Nobody. I mean.
Limbo, do you want to take a shot?
Nah, not this. Not right here. Carlos Hyde. I think we've got, 3 running backs on our team? 4? Murray.
That's it.
Yeah. But we got a lot of wide receivers. We can make some trades. I'm going to make the executive decision. We're going Alan Lazard. We're going Alan Lazard, the number 2 wide receiver. To get a starting wide receiver here in the 15th round, and I don't care what you say, a starting wide receiver tethered to Aaron Rodgers, give me that guy, right? Oh, all right, you're up, Jay. What are we doing? We should have waited on quarterback. We said it too. Like
I almost want to just grab Daniel Jones just because I feel like I messed up.
Like I feel like we screwed up. Like we could have. Like let's just take him here to show that we could have gotten Daniel Jones at the 16th round.
Yeah, and 100% our starting quarterback.
And he provides a rushing floor as well. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Look at who's there. Goff. Like we should have faded.
17th round.
That was
my goodness.
That was a bad pick. Joe Burrow was a bad pick. That was me, y'all. That was all me. I apologize. That was a horrible pick.
And you think about we probably DJ Dallas there.
Yep.
Right.
That was a bad pick.
Who we got here? Let's see.
Finish us out. We can go tight end. I think we got enough wide receivers. Running backs, at this point, I'd say screw it. There's nobody left. Literally no running back worth taking. You got John.
Do you like Perriman there? If you want to just take another guy who will probably play?
At this point, I mean, Perriman's a number 2. But if with my last pick, I would probably want to chase some youth and upside. So, I mean, Miles Boykin is there. I wouldn't mind Miles right here. But, I mean, Perriman would be Perriman would be a guy that would provide a window to win now. So, what do you want to do?
No, I'm cool with Perriman there. If he can become the alpha, oh, man, that's a slam dunk. Because Sam Darnold's a talented quarterback.
Yeah.
It just is going to be the guy, or are they going to give Mims the keys right out the gate?
All right, we'll go Perriman. Finish it out. See what they gave us. B-. B-. Our team, Joe Burrow, Miles Sanders, Ronald Jones, Michael Thomas, A.J. Brown, Allen Robinson, Hunter Henry, Robert Woods, CeeDee Lamb, our only rookie. That's the only rookie. Well, 2 rookies, CeeDee Lamb and Burrow. Dionte, Preston Williams, Tony Pollard, a lot of those second-year breakout kind of guys. Lat Murray, veteran. Ian Thomas, Alan Lazard, Daniel Jones, and Breshad Perriman. That is the draft. That is the draft. Jay, how you feeling about it?
Honestly, I feel pretty good about it. I thought we did a pretty good job. Obviously, what we learned from this exercise, more importantly, is how quickly those running backs went. Maybe we should have went with another running back early on to pair with Sanders. Maybe we go that route in the second round. But other than that, I thought we smashed the draft. Like you look about, we have young guys to replace our solid studs once they turn around and get a little bit older. You have Dionte Johnson, CeeDee Lamb to kind of take the reins after some of our stars kind of fall off a little bit in 2 or 3 years. And I love to do that in all my drafts, is to really recycle and replace stars with future stars that I view to be big assets in the coming years.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the biggest thing for me, we probably, but that's what happens when you commit to a strategy. After we passed up, I think it was the 4th round, we went Allen Robinson over that next kind of, locked in, loaded RB2. We were kind of committed to the 0 RB strategy, in quotes, but we had Miles Sanders, and I love our wide receiver core. In PPR, I don't think we'd have a problem with that running back core early. We'd probably have to flip one of those wide receivers, which rookie fever, right? We could trade CeeDee Lamb. Still have Dionte Johnson and Preston Williams as second-year breakout candidates. So we can flip a CeeDee Lamb and grab, if it was a Raheem Mostert in a draft pick, or find that running back to provide some stability. So interesting dialogue. Hey, Jay, appreciate you joining us, man. I appreciate y'all checking out the Destination Devy, this mock draft. Stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel. Stay locked in. Stay loaded. We're bringing you heat. We'll be back soon with more to help you Devy and Dynasty better.